Everybody, Lucky Blades here again, and today I believe I have the angle correct, so let's hope. I have my starship again. You may be wondering, well, we've already seen your starship before, a few times in fact. What else could you possibly have to tell us about it? Well, since I'm flipping it, maybe you see it when I hit my little pauses here, or see the reflection of the color as I'm flipping. I got my inlays. And holy crap, are they beautiful. They are beautiful for a reason. They are beautiful because they are Timascus inlays. So yes, I got a little bit of special treatment, but that will not affect how I feel about this knife. However, they have affected greatly how much I feel about this knife. In their own ways. This knife, it's not for everybody. I will put that out there right now. It's a lot lighter in the handles without the inlays, but it is a lot sharper in the hand without them, so keep that in mind. This is a sub $500 knife. I think it's just under it at like $480 or something. Something like that, I don't remember. But of course, remember you can use my code at checkout or the link in the description below this video for 10% off of any product on their website. But now that I actually have these inlays, it is a lot more handle biased. And in many ways, it reminds me of my original Talisong. This thing is filthy. I forgot to clean the blade after I ate steak with it. I'm an idiot. There's rust on it now. That's my own stupidity. But yes, this reminds me a lot of my original Talisong if it had a more modern flare and wasn't round as hell. This thing is bigger. It is longer than the original Talisong, but it has a balance similar to my original Talisong. If you ever get your hands on an original Talisong made by Eldon Tally with a Tonto blade, much like mine, this is very similar in the way that it feels and flips. But because it is longer, it is more flippable in many ways. It is heavy, it carries insanely good momentum, and they are insanely durable. This is an M390 blade steel. It's 6AL4V titanium, grade 5 titanium handles, and it's on pinsless. From my memory, which I've had this for over a year now, handles are still the exact gap they were before. It has gotten rid of the ring that this knife has. It sounds more like a very quiet Kraken in a way. Oop. And I have dropped this thing on concrete probably 100+ times now. And I can look at it and barely notice any spots that it has hit concrete. These inlays have already hit concrete multiple times. The blade finally did end up getting tipped, but that was after a 30-foot drop tip first into solid concrete. And I fixed it, and it has not taken any damage since. This was also a false live blade when I got it. It is now sharpened. It is not a razor blade like my other knives, but it is definitely sharp enough to fuck you up if you fuck up. And I really love this thing. Since I got the inlays, I've been flipping it a lot more recently. Of course, until I got my Aeon, which that video was recorded yesterday, today being Wednesday, so you should be seeing it today, as in the day I'm recording this, a week ago when you're seeing this video. So that video will have been up for a week. I think there's a couple hours before it goes up, but yeah. I got these inlays probably a couple weeks ago now, I think. Yeah, maybe a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And I was surprised because they got here incredibly fast, even though I had to wait over 1.5 years to get them. Which, I get it. They're busy people. They have to deal with a bunch of stuff. They have been launching an assload of different knives lately, which I have not seen yet, which is kind of frustrating because they promised they'd be sending me stuff and I never got stuff, so I don't know what's going on there. I need to talk to them. Their stuff is just really fun. It's kind of like a Cerrone knife, but if a Cerrone knife was more cost effective, which they openly admit. They take a lot of inspiration from Cerrone and their knives, and in the fact that they do the pinsless system very similarly. Some of their knives are very close in design, but not to a point it's that, hey, this is a clone. No, they don't do anything like that. It's just more like, hey, can I copy your homework? Sure, just don't make it look like you did, even though it looks really similar. This, however, I don't know of any Cerrone knives that are designed like this or look like this, so I can't speak on that specifically. But I mean, there's not really much I can say about that. If you like an original Talisong in the way that it flips, or you like really heavy handle bias knives, this will be for you. The only gripe with these knives I have is this top jimping here on the inside of the channel, which makes no goddamn sense. I think they changed that on the production models, but I've never seen a production model because I only have this one, and this is a prototype. So I don't really know what the deal is there. Let's talk about these inlays a little bit though. So the inlays are a little bit of a pain in the ass. They can be pretty difficult to get in once they are taken out sometimes because they're very tight tolerance. Mine are loose tolerance, however, because it is a prototype. But another person that I know got their inlays and had them installed at Blade Show, and apparently they bent some of the inlays trying to get them in. So if you ever get one of these and you take the inlays out, be careful. Also, double be careful, because these are held in by T6 screws. Yes, they are held in by T6 screws. I do not have any thread locker on these. I have dropped it on concrete multiple times since I've put them in, and they have not loosened any. So I don't know what kind of deal they got going on there or how they're doing it, but they're not falling out any. So they're not feeling loose. Yeah, I'm wiggling them pretty hard and they're not budging. So someone did something right. Maybe it was me, or maybe it's just the knife itself. Maybe there's titanium stuck in the screw to the point that it will not unscrew itself. But I don't know. Let's see, can I maybe... Whoa. No, I cannot. I still can't fucking do that. I'm still trying, guys. I'm comfortable with the tricks. Whoa, that could have been really bad. I'm comfortable with the tricks that I do, but I do want to learn more, so I am trying in my free time. I really don't have much else I can say about this knife, other than it has a very old school balance with a new school flare and size, because it is pretty average size. Like, I'm pretty sure. Let me grab my Aeon. I have my Aeon. Whoa. I almost dropped my Aeon. Aeon for scale. Yeah, it's pretty standard size. It's pretty standard size. The handles are very thin. The Aeon is pretty thick, but let's see, maybe the Peon. I do have my Peon as well. I'm going back and forth between them. Yeah, the handles are pretty thick for these, but this is pretty thin, especially compared to a Kraken. They're about as thin as a Talisong's handles would be. Not the Talisong Z, the original, like I've been saying, but they aren't round. They are kind of rectangular, but they have all these spots on here that make it feel more square, so it doesn't have that weird rectangular feel, kind of like the Medusas did back in the day. Back in the day, that was like a couple years ago, Jesus. But I don't know, maybe pinsless isn't for you. Maybe heavy handle bias isn't for you. They have plenty of other designs out there that I would love to get my hands on that I'm going to try and get. But we'll see what happens. I'm about done talking about this thing. This has been a quick one. From my feeling, at least, it feels like it's been a pretty quick one. But I don't want to waste your time too much. You've seen this knife plenty of times. The only difference now is that I have my inlays. It's now more like a Talisong than it used to be, but I love that about it. Let's see, can I? Kinda. Yeah. Well, I dropped it again, so I think I'm gonna call it there. I appreciate you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoy. If you want to pick up any knife that is designed by Tuya Knives on their website, use my code at checkout, lycanthrope, or go into the description of this video and use my link, which will automatically apply it. This is not a sponsored video. However, I am sponsored as a flipper. I do not make any money off of this video. However, I make money off of sales that use my code. But that does not change my feelings. I will never allow someone to buy me out. I will tell you what I think. And what I think is this knife is great for my preferences. I don't know your preferences, so I can't speak if you will like it. I can only say if you like heavy handle bias with a standard size and you're okay with pinsless, give it a shot. But yeah, that's been the Starship again. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.